Oh, I think falling in love is the same as it's always been. I think it's as surprising and shocking and chaotic and beautiful as it's always been. I think you can't. The heart is uncontrollable. You can't legislate for who you fall in love with. It happens. So I think the structures for how we try to organize it intellectually have changed, but evolutionarily we haven't evolved at that kind of a rate. And I think you fall in love with somebody, you can't explain why you do it, you just do. So there you go, that's my take on it.
The key to providing such atmosphere is being open to let the players take hold of their own agency and guide the story themselves. And while it may seem kind of scary to follow the unknown, you can find a level of comfort in allowing this to happen while figuring out how to get it back on track, or just following where the rabbit hole goes. You need to take notes. Like, seriously, take notes. You're gonna be so thankful you take notes. Get a scratch pad, take notes. Always notes.
My doctor's like, you gotta lay off the coffee, so I'm actually drinking tea, and I'm like a super freak with tea now. Like, I'm really, like, I get super anal about it. Like, I go to the tea shop and I buy all these different teas, and they have like a certain brewing temperature, a brewing time for that temperature. So I have like a thermometer. It's like a science lab in my kitchen now. It's like every time I'm home, my girlfriend's like, what are you doing? It looks like you're like taking something, like you're dissecting something. I'm like, I'm just making tea.
Take acting classes. It's 95% acting and then 5% about the voice. But I always like to say mimic. Mimic everything. Mimic cartoons, mimic teachers, family members, people you meet on the street. Mimic, not to their faces, but like find your voices and discover what you can do with your instrument. And that's the best way, I think. That's the way I did it.
I love being able to work with people that I like and my friends, and they're also talented. So it is like a big family. But that said, you know, when you think of tight communities, you're like, oh, well, then there's no room for me, or I'll never get in if it's all the same people. That's not true. I mean, I didn't know anybody when I started.
Everybody knows this story because it's about change. It's about the people's capacity to be able to change at any time in their lives. And it's about social responsibility. It's about love, really. It's the great unrequited love story, I think.
Oh, can I give away too much? Oh, this is after. Yeah. F it, you've just seen it. Bleep that out.
Yes. So let's just reset it.
Leave that in.